This person is all fired up about something that they found out about recently, that you have been through in the past that in some sort of way has created woundedness, maybe guardedness, something where you have flinched at their efforts to show love and affection. You're gatekeeping your heart. You've got these really high standards, which they respect and they admire. But this is somebody that is looking beyond the surface of, that you are just a high value person who wants to make someone put in the effort, put in the work in order to kind of gain a spot in your life. And this is somebody that either has found out direct information or they're now able to kind of like see beyond just surface level perceptions into the understanding that someone in the past really put you through it. They really broke your heart. They created trust issues or, did some really kind of egregious things, like put you through some really horrible things that has caused you to kind of like change the way in which you love, that has caused you to sort of change the way in which you allow new people to show up for you. This is somebody, again, that like respects this version of you. They respect your boundaries. This is not somebody that is trying to, get you to sort of like step back from that in any sort of way. They may have an understanding as well of like what it's taken for you to put the pieces of yourself or your life back together after whatever it is that someone from the past has put you through. And so they really respect that. They respect that journey. They want to honor that. They cherish that. They adore this version of you. They are very happy that you survived whatever it is that you went through, because now you are here in their reality and there's an opportunity for this person to pour love into you. But at the same time, this is somebody that, in addition to all of those like feel good feelings that they're having in the moment with you, something has come to their attention recently that has caused them to kind of like look around at past people in your life, past experiences, or even kind of like a dark chapter that you don't really like to talk about, you don't really like to, look at. Maybe you opened up about some of these things recently to this person, and again, it has them all fired up. This is somebody that it's like protector mode activated. It feels like this is somebody that not only wants to kind of like put in effort to show you, that like love is safe, that they are a safe person, that it's, good to kind of like trust in this situation, trust in your instincts, but at the same point in time to kind of let that guard down, sort of relax into the situation. But it's taking them a lot of like self-control not to just like go off on somebody, from the past. And they're trying to find a way to kind of like channel that sort of like anger or frustration or resentment. This is somebody that takes personal offense at, whatever someone before has like put you through, that has, created kind of the need for you to go on some sort of healing journey, self-love journey, to become this very excellent and exquisite version of yourself that is in the here and now. But at the same point in time, this is somebody that is feeling like you didn't deserve to go through certain things. Anybody that would, kind of like hurt you in the way that you were hurt emotionally or maybe even otherwise, that's somebody that is not kind of a friend in this person's book. This is not somebody that is like a good person. This is somebody that wants you to understand like you never deserved half of what it is that you went through, but now that you are here in this person's reality, as they try to kind of like find a way to sort of channel that aggression into something productive, this is somebody that also wants to focus on trying to find ways to kind of intensify their efforts towards you, so that you can sort of, with this person, kind of like move beyond the painful and difficult past that you've been through, and to experience a different face of what love can be and what it actually should be. We also have the Queen of Swords. So it feels like this person wants to provide you a lot of reassurance. But again, something that has kind of like happened recently. Maybe this is something that you didn't even like notice about yourself, but it was almost like this person tried to be very close, very affectionate, and it triggered something within. It triggered those boundaries, or your, discernment, your boundaries that you already have in place. This person is looking at those from a different angle, not as something like, how can I sort of talk my way in? But why are these in place? What is it that you have been through in the past that has caused you to, kind of operate in this capacity? Because they see you as somebody with almost like a tough exterior, but you're a really sweet person. you're a very gentle person, or at least the way in which you show up in terms of softness with this person. They really like sense that there's a vulnerability about you that people in the past have likely taken advantage of. And for a lot of you, again, this is somebody that has like direct information about something that somebody or a series of people like put you through, that has changed the way in which you love yourself, you approach new connections, new people, and so they're honoring that process. But this is also somebody that now wants to, kind of really emphasize and try to make efforts in the direction of letting you know that it's okay for you to sort of like take your time to open up to them or to be very hesitant. This is something where if you're making this person jump through a lot of hoops, you're testing this person, before you kind of just like open your life up fully to them. They respect that, they honor that. That's not something that makes them very frustrated or makes them want to walk away, because they have some kind of awareness, or they've been able to just sort of like look at that sort of boundaried energy on your part from a different perspective, and they are seeing that this is all kind of like the product of some sort of wreckage that somebody, or again like a series of somebody's, put you through before. This is something where they've gotten that kind of glimpse of something that was like triggered within you, but they've also gotten a glimpse of this kind of like sweetness, this softness, this vulnerability inside of you. Maybe you were vulnerable with them and you opened up about things you've been through in the past. And if that's the case, it's very shocking to this person, that somebody would do certain things to you, or, that you had been through experiences that were kind of like less than good, less than beautiful. It feels like, again, this person almost like takes personal offense at people that have like hurt you, that have broken your heart. This is somebody that wants to really step up to the plate and show you the way that love should be, as like a protective space, a safe space, rather than something that you need to always be on edge, always be on alert, always like have your guard up, or sort of like utilize wisdom of the past as a way to, kind of combat kind of the repeat of circumstances that you've been through before. This is somebody that does not want to have like a shared space with you where you're feeling like, it's not safe to kind of relax into the most receptive version of yourself. And so it feels like they're going to take a different approach than they have up to this point in time, with a mindfulness of the fact that this version of you is not somebody that is jaded, is not somebody that is like closed off to love, but that you have kind of like developed this armor, you put this armor around yourself as a result of people that were careless with you and careless with your heart and careless with, the gift of your presence in the past, what they had done to you. We also have the Three of Wands. So again, this is somebody that wants to take kind of a gentle, patient approach at this particular point in time. That might be something that is also very triggering for you if you're kind of like, okay, they're slowing down in terms of like advancing towards me. I don't really understand. It's because this person has like sensed something, they've seen something, or they found something out that is encouraging them to kind of like take a longer route to sort of the next evolution of the connection between the two of you. Because there's a sense that at this particular point in time, they have the ability to kiss certain wounds or certain scars that you might not even be aware of, are kind of like surfacing in this connection. This is not just somebody that wants to kind of like fill a space in your life as a significant other, but this is somebody that really believes that the experience between the two of you can be very healing. It feels like you activate kind of like the nurture within this person. And so it feels like it's a way in which they can kind of like give and show up and to let you know by this kind of like slower approach. Not that they're like backing off or, kind of like detaching, but just something where they're very kind of measured with the progress forward, so that you understand that, the full range of kind of like fear and excitement that may surface within you. All of that is something that they have like an understanding of. They get it. This is somebody that feels like that has a lot of empathy, a lot of compassion for you, but they don't want you to feel like they are, pitying you in any sort of way. But at the same point in time, there is a sense of like some things that you've been through, experiences that have kind of like shaped or necessitated this armor that they sense around you. There is pity. It's kind of like, why would anyone put you through something like that? You're a great person. You're a beautiful person. You're a loving person. You should have only ever been treated with the utmost love, care, and respect. And so, again, this is somebody that may also be having to take a slower approach because now they're sort of like, sacred rage, their indignation, their anger on your behalf has been triggered. And this is something that it feels like they're trying to kind of like learn to transmute that into something that just intensifies kind of their determination to show you a very different experience in love. So although it may be that things are kind of like slowing down for the moment between the two of you, this is somebody it feels like that wants to like give space for this energy of whatever's been sort of like triggered within them, triggered within you, to honor that as part of, kind of the process of evolving with one another into a deeper connection that both honors like the paths you have both walked to come to this point in time, how your life experiences or even disappointments have shaped you into very particular people, but then also to, kind of reinforce that energy of you are so incredibly lovable, no matter what your past looks like, no matter, what anyone before put you through. This is somebody that wants you to know, like, I don't see a person, that is damaged goods. I don't see somebody with scars. I see a very resilient person. I see a very beautiful person. I see a very radiant and loving person who had the strength and determination to put their pieces back together again, to step forth into life with an open heart rather than becoming very shut down. Even though they sense that there's like a guardedness, there's armor that you have up. This is not something that they judge you for. It's something that their heart really goes out to you. Like they don't like the fact that your experiences in the past have sort of like created that almost like a coping mechanism or a reflex within you. And again, this is something where for a lot of you, they found out certain information. They maybe asked around or you shared something has come to light, something has come to their attention where they very directly can trace it back to like a specific person or a series of people that kind of just like did the most, were very unfair, gave you very bad experiences, not just kind of like two people decided to kind of go their opposite ways, sort of like grew apart or anything like that. But this is an energy of things where, you really went through things that were very unfair, very cruel, very unkind, very damaging, and so this again has this person like all fired up. They're really pissed off at those past people, and it feels like it's something that they're trying to kind of like not sort of give in to that kind of energy of anger towards the past, but to again sort of like harness that and direct that focus towards being very determined to like show up for you in a high vibrational way, to be more mindful, more careful, more conscientious about certain like vulnerabilities you have, certain triggers that you have, maybe some that they become aware of already, or things that may surface further down the road, because they see you as somebody with a lot of love to give, and they have a lot of love that they want to give to you too. But it's also this experience at this point in time of sort of like the disappointments of the past have kind of like carved certain aspects out of you, and they're wanting to kind of love those parts of you as well, the parts of yourself that you may be kind of insecure about, that may be very difficult, may be very painful. You've had to like rebuild these aspects of yourself. This is somebody that, doesn't want to like make you uncomfortable with putting a whole lot of focus on those things, but they want to sort of address that in some sort of way, embrace that part of you as well, because they see you as a very exquisite person, a very empowered person, a very beautiful person. And this is something where, whatever had happened in the past, that is the past, but this is something where they want to really celebrate this version of you here and now in the moment. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.